Welcome back to A Life Unpacked. So this is editing, Nicole here. I was just getting ready to edit this week's vlog and I realized that I lost my first clip that I took this week. What I was doing was I was getting the drone kind of prepped to be able to fly it for the first time. So I apparently lost all of that somehow. I don't even know how, but because I was watching it back at one point, so I'm not really sure what happened there. But either way, yeah, so I'm going to just pop on some of the drone footage and you can see what my first test flight looked like. It's not the nicest looking flight. It's not the worst looking flight. I'll do a little voiceover of a few things while I go through that. So let's get started with that part. In this beginning bit, my camera turns are quite sporadic. I didn't realize that there is a mode that will actually allow you to slow down the turning radius on the camera and will let it be a little bit more smooth. I turn on that setting a little bit later on, but this is just kind of getting used to the controls and seeing the back and forths of it. Now this was a pretty windy day. It was about I want to say it was like 9 miles per hour wind, and I think the camera does go up, or the drone does go up a lot higher than that. This part I was testing out the ability that the drone has that actually stops it from running into an object. So I used the house obviously to kind of fly towards it, and it would stop it once it gets to a certain distance to the house. Aerith was petrified of me flying this. It does make noise. Most of you have probably heard a drone before. She was not a fan, so she was very nervous. Kept coming over to me, jumping up on me. It was fun to see the different things that I could potentially do with this camera, especially from like a top down. I could mow the grass and get some great aerial shots. I think this will be a lot of fun for, going on vacation and getting some shots of us like hanging out on a beach or something along those lines. It has a lot of really fun potential. I did not go up as high as I am allowed to go in my area. What was nice is that on the phone it does have a map and it tells you like how high you're allowed to fly in a certain area and the restrictions and stuff, and it will even stop the drone once it knows the flight paths in the area. I probably went up about 100 meters, 125 meters maybe, and it can go up to 400, so it can go quite high, but I was a little nervous. I've never flown before, and I also just didn't want to annoy my neighbors. I know there's like privacy, people are concerned about privacy and stuff, but it was cool to go up and to do these slower sweeping motions and, see the landscape basically around. So that was pretty cool. Playing with that drone was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that, like a lot more than I thought I would. I'll have to think of some like interesting ways to use that. But now I'm gonna go take a walk with Aerith. She doesn't know yet, but I'm sure she'll get very excited. ready? You ready? Okay, let's go. My roses are blooming. I didn't think they were going to, because if you can see back here, there's a lot of dead parts. This year the rabbits took all the bark off the bottom of the roses. So I actually left, normally I would take the dead parts off, but I left them hoping that something would grow. And they did. And they're looking beautiful. We got over here one single. Oh, and a bumblebee friend. It is Saturday morning. When I was last flying the drone, it was Monday, I want to say. I don't know. But we've been in the office working on a new project that's really important to our business. And I've been there for the past 2 days. Literally, I feel like. The first day we were there for 16 hours. I mean, we all went out to dinner. Aerith is super clingy today. I've been gone for 2 days, basically. But it is the weekend. I have no plans. Well, I have minimal plans, but it's my birthday today. So we were going to go to have free wings. Because there's a place, I think I told you about, that does free birthday wings. But my sister's sick, and normally you get 43, I'll get 43 wings, because I'm 43 this year. So, she started running a fever 2 days ago, so she doesn't want to go out and get anyone sick. And I was around her husband, who I work with, so, we don't want Jeff coming around, because then Jeff will be in contact with us and he could bring it back to his dad, and it's like a whole thing. We just don't want to spread it. So I don't think we're getting together for that. If anything, me and Chris may go, because we were already together for the past 2 days at work. So what's another day? It doesn't really matter at this point. And I'm not clearing my throat because I'm sick. I'm clearing my throat because I just woke up and this is the first time I've spoken to anybody. But besides the fact that I don't think we're going to go out for wings. I'm not really certain at this point. I'm going to go to the gym. I get a free smoothie, protein smoothie at the gym, which is nice. And then, I'll probably stop at Starbucks and get my free Starbucks drink on the way home. And I don't know, I may just, if we don't do anything, I may just order maybe some sushi and just have it at the house by myself, which is fine. I don't mind celebrating by myself. I don't mind hanging out by myself, especially because I'm exhausted from the past 2 days. I don't have nearly the vlog footage I should have for this week, because I had plans of things we were going to be doing, and then we get called into work to do this, and it just shoots the entire day down. And, and then I was planning on these birthday wings to be able to do a little bit more, but anyway, I don't think I've done a little, I think I might make some breakfast, and I need some coffee for sure. So that's kind of my plan right now. So let's do that. it's now a couple of days after my birthday. Last I checked in with you, I think, was the morning of my birthday. Well, that day didn't go so hot. I actually had a really crappy birthday. My sister was sick, so we weren't able to go out to get wings. I was going to go maybe alone, and then I decided I didn't want to be alone. I ended up having a little bit of a cry fest because I was feeling sorry for myself. I was just in a terrible mood. Work's been stressful. I was 2 days in the office last week, and then now I'm going to be 3 days in the office this week. So this vlog is actually now continuing. It's going to be a 2-week vlog because I didn't get enough footage last week. I played with the drone for a little bit, and then that's kind of about it. So I figured, you know what, we're just going to have to do 2 weeks. This week I'm in the office again for 3 days. So I'm going to be busy a lot, and I can't film there because I respect my job, so I'm not going to do that. Now it's Monday and it's pretty rainy outside. I am feeling better from my birthday day. It was just like, it was just a lot of stressful things that was just piling on top of itself. And then I felt really lonely. I made that up to myself on Saturday. I spent the day to myself. I did play video games with the family in the afternoon, but I went to the bookstore and I got a couple of books. And I got, my free birthday drink from Starbucks and stuff like that. So I did spend some time for myself. And I did a ton of cleaning on Sunday. So much cleaning. I skipped going to the gym because I was like in such a roll with it that I was like, I don't want to stop to go to the gym. Now this week is already turning out to be kind of a bummer. I had to cancel my personal training because I'm going to be at work. I don't have time to leave work, drop off the person I carpool with, come home, change, and then drive back to the gym. I won't make it in a reasonable amount of time. So I had to cancel my personal training. Asher had a hydrotherapy appointment this week that had to be canceled because I will be in the office and I can't take him. So now his hydrotherapy is getting pushed out again. So it's just a lot. It's a lot. I feel like my consistency is all over the place. I'm dropping things left and right. I'm still not losing weight. I'm still not having any fun with the food that I'm eating. I'm just, I'm getting very frustrated, and you can tell it's still kind of lingering from the weekend. But I'm going to try to take a deep breath, clear my mind. It's raining today, so it's nice and cozy. I'm going to get some reading done on my lunch break, and I'm going to savor being at home today because for the rest of the week I'm going to be in the office, and I don't have any plans. I know by the weekend I'm going to be exhausted again, and I'll probably have to, take care of some things around the house here. But I'm going to make myself a coffee and have a little afternoon coffee to kind of perk me up today. Do a little bit of reading, and I will share with you the books that I got on my birthday then. All right, so I haven't filmed from my library in a hot minute, I feel like. If you hear fluffing around, it's just Asher, who is mad at the camera for some reason, and he thinks it's going to attack him. So if it does get bumped, it's him probably pawing at it and being a little bit of a jerk. So let's start off with talking about where I am with my reads. I don't know when I updated last. I just have been plogging along, and I know not everyone is into there it goes, knocking the camera. I know not everyone is into the reading sections of this, so we're gonna stop that. So if you do want to skip book stuff, we'll pop a timestamp here of where you can meet up with us again. But so books that I know that I finished that I haven't spoken about. I did finish, let me get my book. I had to pull my reading journal. So I think the last time I talked about books, I had finished Goldfinch. So I did finish Goldfinch. I am glad to be done with the Played Prisoner series. It was a good series overall. It kept me more engaged in the beginning than towards the end, but it could just be because my book group that I was reading it with, they started like, even though the books were getting longer, they were still like, oh, we're gonna be done with this one in 3 weeks, and I was like, yeah, the books are getting longer and longer, and your timeline is getting faster and faster to read them in. It's a little bit tough. And they moved on to the Zodiac Academy series, and I've got the first Zodiac Academy somewhere, but I was like, you know what? I think I need a break from like speed reading books. I like to read books at a faster pace, but also like sometimes I don't like to be forced to do it, and I was just feeling overwhelmed by that. So, then I moved on. I finished Legends and Lattes. This is the first/second. It was the first book that he wrote for this series, but there's a prequel now, so it's the first book in the Legends and Latte series. Viv is a retired orc. Retired? I guess she decides to hang up her sword. I guess that's a type of retirement, but she decides to open a coffee shop in a town, and it's kind of like her adventures, learning how to manage and deal with that and the things that come along with, opening your own shop, I guess. It's just a cozy little fantasy book, and it's super cute, and I loved it, and I adored it. I had a good time reading it. Still working on finishing off that series. Then I read, I went on to the next book of the Dream Harbor series. I'm on the 4th book. I just read the 4th book, the Pumpkin Patch Pancake House. I've read all of these other books. They're cute little cozy romances. Nothing big about them, nothing serious about them. They're not like award-winning and beautiful and like life-changing series or anything like that, but it's a good quick little read. I like the town. I think they're adorable. The characters from the older books show up in the newer books, so it's cute. This one follows Archer and Iris, and Archer is a Parisian chef who found out that he has a child, and he needs to come and step up to be the father for that child because the mother has passed away, and now he's finding out he had a child that he didn't know he had. So he is kind of adapting to being a father and now being a like small town diner chef versus being a Michelin star Parisian chef. And Iris is just like a hot mess express yoga teacher who's super free-willed and free-spirited, and they're both adorable. Very cute book. I loved Olive is the little girl. She's so cute and funny, and you saw the characters from the other books series so it was cute little story. Then I finished The Butcher's Masquerade. This is the 5th book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. Moving right along with this, I read this as audio, so I only listen to it when I'm on my way to like work or the gym or running errands or whatever I'm doing at the time. But another cute book. Another great book. It was another great book, another 5-star, of course. Carl and Donna are at it again. This was the, what floor was this? This was the 6th floor, and the environment was like a lot of fun, very jungle-esque. I think I talked about this one a few vlogs back, but a jungly type of environment, and this was the hunting grounds. They were introduced to the hunters for the first time, and basically they went through the dungeon knowing that they were going to have this masquerade at the end, which was going to kind of be like a ball to get together and kind of have a place to not fight for a change. And and that was just the story just evolving and adapting. And we are now on to the next book in the series because this one was another great book. And you know me, I just can't stop once I get started on some series, and this was one of those. This is just going to keep going straight until I finish them all. Then I also finished the Goblins and Greatcoats book by Travis Baldtree. This is the like mini book that's in between the prequel and Legends and Lattes. They had like a little 14-page novella thing. You can download the free PDF on the website, and I did download that and read that, and it was cute. It was little. It just kind of introduced you to the character that is going to be in the second book. That character's in Brigands and Bread Knives. Brigands? Is that how you say that? Brigands and Bread Knives. So that will move on to the books that I'm currently reading. So currently I'm reading that Brigands and Breadsticks. Or Bread Knives. Breadsticks. Brigands and Bread Knives. That is a book where now Viv's got her coffee shop established in the town, and now her long old friend Fern has moved her bookstore that she used to have in another city to the same city as Viv, and she's actually going to be setting up the shop right next door to the coffee shop. And then it's kind of like more of Fern's story. Viv's in it, but not as much and not as heavily as Fern is at this point. I'm reading that on my Kindle, and the other books I'm reading, because I can't just read one. I have the Bedlam Bride. This is the next book in the Dungeon Crawler I can never say the series. Dungeon Crawler series. This is I've just barely scratched the surface of it at this point. I know that we are we went from the 6th floor in the last book to now the 8th floor. And I'm not going to go into why we went from 6th to 8th. I don't think I even fully grasp why myself. So I may need to go back and kind of like look into that a little bit more, or there may be more coming later on in the book series that that I'm not familiar with right now. But we are now on the 8th floor, and it's in like in Earth locations. The crawlers are able to pick where they wanted to start based on the party that they are in, and Carl and Donut have ended up in Havana, Cuba. So we are there. And it's got a very weird card concept to this floor. I don't know if I'm in love with the whole collect 'em all Pokemon vibes that this floor is giving off, but I'm along for the ride here. It's just not my favorite. That's all I can really say at this point. I'm not far enough into it to really give more than that. I think there are some interesting plot points that are going to be curious to see where they end up in the next couple of books, because I'm very concerned and I'm very curious as to where things will go. Then I am reading Lady Tremaine. Now, this is one that I wanted to read a couple of months ago. This is a Book of the Month club from... what Book of the Month was this? Usually tells you. Oh, March. This is from March. So I wanted to read this back in March, and I'm not very far into it. I'm only, like 75 pages. So, I'm not that far into it, but, this is kind of like a retelling of, Cinderella, but from the stepmother's point of view. And this is more taking the, ideas of like, if you were a mother trying to protect your daughters and you had a threat to those daughters, how would you act? And it's kind of more telling the story not as like they're evil, like the evil stepmother and the evil stepsisters, but rather this is what people have to do in hard times type of situation. And this is the story more... And this is the story more like from the point of view of like, maybe Cinderella was the bad guy, At least that's the vibes I'm getting of it so far. It's only 75 pages. I'm not very far into it. So we'll see how that goes. This one's just kind of like my, I read it when I'm on my breaks at work. So it stays in here on my desk. So I don't always get a lot of time for that because sometimes I work through my lunch breaks. And then I also am still reading Bad Deal for the Whole Galaxy. Now this one is getting beat up. She's got some washi tape on her to keep her cover together. And the spine is getting broken. It is getting very loved. But I did finally get back into reading this. I'm a little bit closer to the end now. And it has grown interesting again to me. And I'm back for the vibe of the space environments. Do I think I'm going to pick up the third book right away? Probably not. because I do want to move on to my new books. So I'm going to finish this up before I move on to my new books. So let me show you what I got for my birthday. Okay, so I got 2 book series for my birthday. Originally, when I went in to the bookstore, I had my eyes set on one series to start, and that is the Beartown series by Frederick Bachman. Now, I did end up getting all 3 books. Last time I was at the bookstore, I really wanted to get them, but they only had books 1 and 3, and I didn't want to get... One of my biggest pet peeves is when I do decide to buy physical copies, if I buy a series and like one book is the wrong size or is a different version of it or whatever. I hate that. I really do. And in fact, my bookshelves, I'm going to be seriously culling through them. I have a shelf down here right now. These books on the bottom shelf here are all like ones that I'm getting rid of because they just don't match like this. They don't match other books in the series that I have. And if I'm going to keep my bookshelves more curated to what I have read or am interested in reading, then what I need to do is I need to make sure that all my editions of books that I want to read or keep are all the same editions. So I did decide to get this series. I've heard it's very good. I don't know much of what it's about other than I know it's about a hockey town. And I know that there's like a hard-hitting topic that is... an issue to the town. Can you get down? Hey, down. Asher. I don't know much about this series other than the fact that I know it's a hockey town, and I know that the there's like a hard subject matter that's happening in the town, and that's kind of about it. I don't really know what I'm getting myself into. It's a lot of book to not really know what I'm not getting myself into, but it has very high ratings. I've heard so many people talk about how good this series is, so I wanted to read it. And then the second series that I got was the Fourth Wing series. Now, I know the series isn't finished yet. I know that there are going to be like a 4th and a 5th book, maybe even a 6th book. But I did want to get copies of these. I like fantasy. I like, I guess, romantasy, if that's what you want to call it. I'm not sure how fantasy forward this series is, but verse romantasy, but it's got dragons and I like dragons. So I am interested in this, and I know I wanted to wait until it was more out to purchase and start reading, because if it's anything like the last, I guess, romantasy type series / fantasy that I read, that I really got annoyed with was, what's it called? It's a Sarah J. Maas series, but it's not The Court of Thorns and Roses. It's, the second one, the, why am I blanking on what it's called? What? Holy cow. Oh my god, the Throne of Glass series. I don't know how I could have forgotten that. The Throne of Glass series, I started reading it. I think it was at the time I started reading it, the last 2 books weren't out. And I got to the end and then I was like, waiting on the books. I hate waiting on the books. As I say, as I'm reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is apparently only at 8 books. But anyway, when I started reading that one, I also thought it was finished, but it's clearly not finished. So I hate it when I have to wait for a book, because my problem is that I do read so much that I tend to forget the details of a book if I'm waiting for the next book to come out. So I try not to do that. So I don't know if I'm going to dig right into reading these, or if I'm going to save them and hold on to them and then maybe wait to read them when the next books come out, which I might do. I might have to do some more research into seeing when the next books are going to get published, and if there's like a conclusion after 3, and then maybe like it's the same universe and just a different story for the next ones, which sometimes that happens. That happens a lot with like Brandon Sanderson books. I can usually find a good like 3, you do 3 and then you stop. Like the Mistborn series has a clear like stopping spot and starting up spot for the next part of the series. But those are the books that I got. And I'm probably definitely, I'm definitely going to read Beartown next, as soon as I finish A Bad Deal for the Whole Galaxy. I really want to dig into this. I don't want to have a book sitting on my bookshelf that I need to read as I look at like 300 plus books that I need to read. But if I'm going to be purchasing books in this day and age, not in my past life, but now, if I choose to purchase a book now, it's because I want to read it now, and I'm not going to let it just sit on my bookshelves. Yes. So anyway, my lunch break is over, so I guess I don't have much time to read. So I'm going to go, but thank you so much for following me in this vlog. I'm going to try to edit this and put it out, and then I may skip next week because I know I'm just not going to get any filming done this week. It's Monday now, and I know Tuesday through Thursday I'm going to be busy, and I have no plans for the weekend. So I will probably edit this vlog tonight, put it up for tomorrow, and then we won't see you guys next week, but we'll see you the week after that. So thank you so much for hanging out with me this time, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye.